Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Kunja Vihari. Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari. Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari. Jashoda Nandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Braja Janaranjana. Jashoda Nandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Braja Janaranjana. Jamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Vihari. Jaya 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 Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajikacharya Ashtotara Shata Shishimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Shila Prabhupada Ki Grantara Shimam Bhagavatam Ki Nitai Gaura Premanandi. Oh, glories to the assembled devotees. Oh, glories to the assembled devotees. Oh, glories to the assembled devotees. Oh, glories to Shishiguru and Sri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, the Summon Bonan, Chapter 51, the Liberation of Muchukunda, Text 34 through 37. Text number 34. Te yashate vishahyena bhuridrastum nasanuma bhuridrastum nashaknuma hatau yasha mahabhaga manani yoshidehinam tejashate vishahyena bhuri drashtum na shaknuma hataujasa mahabhaga manani yoshidehinam tejashate visahyena bhuridrastum na shaknuma hataujasa mahabhaga manani yoshidehinam. Please chant. Tejashate visahyena buridrastum na shaknuma hato jasya mahabhaga manijose tedehinam tejashate visahyena buridrastum na shaknuma hatau jasya mahabhaga manani yosidehinam tejasate visahyena buridrastum na shaknuma manani yosidehinam tejashate visahyena buridrastum na shaknuma hatanu. Hato jasa mahabhaga manani yosidehinam tejashate visahyena buridrastum na shaknuma hatau jasa mahabhaga manani yosidehinam tejasate visahyena buridrastum na shaknuma hatau jasa mahabhaga manani yosidehinam tejasa. Because of their effulgence, te, your, avishahyena, unbearable, bhuri, much, drastum, to see, nasakshumaha, were not able, hata, diminish it, ojasha, with our faculties, mahabhaga, O most opulent one, mananiyaha, to be honored, asi, you are, dehinam, by embodied beings. Translation by the disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Your unbearably brilliant effulgence overwhelms our strength, and thus we cannot fix our gaze upon you. O exalted one, you are to be honored by all embodied beings. Text number 35. Evan sambasito raknya bhagavan bhuta bhavana pratyaha prahasambanya meghanada gabhiraja. Translation. Sukadev Goswami continue. Thus, addressed by the King, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, origin of all creation, smile and then reply to him in a voice as deep as the rumbling clouds. Text number 36. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Jamma Karma Bhidhanani Shanti Manga Sahasrasaha Na Sakyanti Nushakyatum Ananta Tvam Majipyahi. Translation. The Supreme Lord said, my dear friend, I have taken thousands of births, lived thousands of lives, and accepted thousands of names. In fact, my birth, activities, and names are limitless, and thus even I cannot count them. Text number 37. Kwachi ramja sibi mamne parthiva nyuru jammabhi guna karma vidhanani name jammani karhichit. Translation. After many lifetimes, someone made count the dust particles on the earth, but no one can ever finish counting my qualities, activities, names, and births. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjala Shalakaya Chakshur Ummilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurube Namaha. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pesaya Bhutale Srimate Romapada Swamin Iti Namine. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirveshesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So happy Radhastami, everybody. Shila Jivagoswami comments on text number 35. Shiguru, Haribol. In text number 34, Shila Jivagoswami comments. Since our strength is defeated by your power, again, I'm going to read the verse translation again so you get the back into focus on that. The translation goes, this is Muchukunda offering prayers, or King Muchukunda offering prayers to Lord Krishna. Your unbearable brilliant effulgence overwhelms our strength, and thus we cannot fix our gaze upon you. O exalted one, you are to be honored by all embodied beings. So remember, we cover King Muchukunda's mood of humility and surrender as he recognized Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead and offered these beautiful prayers. And he is saying here, after presenting himself in a very humble way to Krishna and recognizing himself very, very tiny in comparison to Krishna, he continues with that mood and say that Krishna's effulgence And remember, they were in a cave. So it was a very dark cave in which Muchukunda was sleeping. But Krishna's effulgence, it is explained, Srila Shukadev Goswami explained, that illuminated not only the cave and dispelled all darkness in the cave, but also fully illuminated King Muchukunda's heart. So King Muchukunda, now perfectly enlightened, he addressed the Supreme Lord. And so he is addressing the Lord, recognizing this effulgence, this unbearable, brilliant effulgence. And again, when you're in front of someone that is so great and so powerful, in humility, in general, one usually have, one's head down and looking at the lotus feet. And we went through that, in previous verses, how King Muchukunda was focused on the lotus feet of the Lord. He was offering prayers to the lotus feet of the Lord. So, and you can immediately picture Lord King Muchukunda focusing his gaze in the lotus feet of the Lord. But if you look up the Lord, the brilliant effulgence just confirmed how powerful he was. And just by that, King Muchukunda saying, my strength, or the strength of anyone, and we're talking about Muchukunda, this extremely powerful Kshatriya king, Rajarshi, extremely powerful. And his powers, his ojas, became very, very minimal in comparison, just by Krishna's presence and Krishna's effulgence. And his conclusion is, you are to be honored by all embodied beings. It is explained like that. When one can understand Krishna's opulence and Krishna as the source of everything, one just can naturally surrender. What is it? Aham sarvasya prabhavo matva. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. How's it go? Do you remember? Aham sarvasya prabhavo. Well, what it say? Iti matva bhajante man. That when one recognizes that Krishna is the source of everything, then one naturally surrenders to him and renders devotional service. Naturally, it happens. So this is a situation with King Muchukunda. So Srila Jivagoswami comments, which the wonderful thing of our Vaishnava Acharyas is they take us into a tour of the heart of all these great personalities. They take us by the hand and allow us to understand these great pure hearts from the perspective of a pure heart. So we got entrance into their feelings, their thinking, and their heart. So Srila Jivagoswami gives us that entrance to King Muchukunda's. So King Muchukunda thinking like this. So he say, since our strength is defeated by your power, we cannot ask many questions, such as, why have you come here? Where will you go? What are you doing at this moment? So, just by seeing that powerful presence, there is no room for asking questions. So just like you immediately, you prostrate yourself, you surrender. There's no need to understand anything but Here's a supreme being who ought to be honored and worshipped by all beings. There's no need to ask questions here. Who are you? Please explain. Srila Jivagoswami continues. Another version has drastum. Since we cannot even see you, what is the question of speaking and asking questions? Therefore, Brahmanas and others respect you. That is befitting. O person with greatness more than all other great persons, Mahabhaga. The form Bhaga from Bhaga here indicates one who personifies all good qualities. So he's recognizing Krishna, Mahabhaga. So we know that Krishna is addressed as Bhagavan, who possesses all qualities in full, all opulence in full. So Mahabhaga is also addressing like that all good qualities are present. The personification of all good qualities. And as Krishna starts to speak, he refers to these qualities like that. So the next verse, we have a comment by Srila Jivagoswami and Srila Sanatana Goswami. Text number 35 reads again, Sukadev Goswami continued, thus addressed by the king, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, origin of all creation, smile, and then replied to him in a voice as deep as the rumbling of clouds. Srila Jiva Goswami comments, the Lord is inclined to protect any beings, Bhuta, Bhavana. What to speak of his devotee, Muchukunda? Therefore, he spoke with a smile. His voice was deep, like rumbling clouds. This indicates a natural quality of the Lord. Srila Sanatana Goswami comments, the Lord, without hiding himself, answered with affection for his devotee. Having been addressed skillfully, the protector of all jivas by his nature, manifesting unlimited qualities like affection for his devotee, spoke while smiling because he was by nature happy or because he was especially pleased. He spoke with a deep voice as part of his nature or because of a special joy at that time or to show that he was Vishnu. Muchukunda says, Tatati sajalam bodha nada dhira tarantava vakyam. Your voice is deep like the sound of a rain cloud. That's from the Vishnu Purana. So, Krishna is explaining that we cannot see Krishna. The effulgence of Krishna is so powerful that ordinary beings cannot see. We can only start to see Krishna when he removes that curtain. It explains like a curtain. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna gives this reference of this, that for those whose heart is not illuminated, then he is covered by this curtain of Yoga Maya. Yoga Maya is his internal potency. And of course, today we're celebrating the appearance day of Srimati Radharani. And Srimati Radharani is the personification of the internal potency of the Lord. Srimati Radharani is the immediate, is energy of the Lord, is the female manifestation of the personality of Godhead. And she embodies his spiritual energy. So when that curtain is removed, then we can see the Lord. We can see the Lord. So in this case, Muchukunda, by his devotion, was able to see the Lord. And what do he see? He sees the Lord smiling and addressing him. With affection. The Lord is reciprocating with the devotion, and he smiles because he's pleased. So it's wonderful when we see the beautiful smile, very, very beautiful and gentle smile of the Lord. When we take darshan every morning, or every time we take darshan of Shishikishore Kishori, or Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, we see their beautiful smile. And if we take darshan of Sri Jagannath, Sri Baladev and Srimati Subhadra Maharani, we see a very ecstatic smile. So like that means that the Lord is very pleased. The Lord becomes pleased when he sees the devotees singing and dancing and worshiping him and offering their devotion. So that's the nature of the Lord, the protector of all jivas, Bhuta Bhavana. In text number 36, we also have commentaries by three of our acharyas, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti, Srila Jivagoswami, and Srila Sanatana Goswami. In that verse, Srila Sukadev Goswami narrates, the Supreme Lord said, my dear friend, I have taken thousands of births, lived thousands of lives, and accepted thousands of names. In fact, my birth, activities, and names are limitless. And thus, even I cannot count them. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments, though Muchukunda is completely without pride, he showed his position in order to hear my words. So this is Krishna thinking. Now, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti is giving us entrance to Krishna's heart and Krishna's thinking. So now, Krishna is reciprocating with his devotee, and he is pleased with his devotee. And he, with a smile, addresses the devotee, and Krishna is thinking, as Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives us this entrance, he's appreciating Muchukunda, that he is completely without pride. And he shows his position in order to hear his words. So, the Lord appreciates pridelessness. That's what we were talking yesterday, that Lord Chaitanya tells us that in order to be able to connect fully with the Holy Name, we have to cultivate this principle of humility, tolerance, and pridelessness. Like by offering respect to others and not expecting respect to oneself. So, then Krishna, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur continues. Therefore, I also, though completely without pride, will pronounce my own superior position to him. I have said, accordingly as they worship me, I also worship them. Considering this statement, Krishna then spoke. Now, this is quite wonderful. Because Krishna is saying that also, I'm not prideful. So Krishna has no pride. He's also prideless. Prideless, right? Prideless. So, but he will speak now about his supreme position, his superior position. So that sounds like a contradiction. Because if I'm not proud, I'm not going to claim all my superiorities, my superior qualities. We see that Muchukunda, when he addressed Krishna in a way that he was not going to tell all of his accomplishments, of all his strength and qualities. So rather, he did it in a very humble way. He even presented himself as a Chatrabandhu, or an unqualified son of a Kshatriya. So that was Muchukunda. But now Krishna is going to pronounce his own superior position. But Krishna will do that not out of pride, but out of reciprocation with Muchukunda. This is because Muchukunda is surrendering to Krishna as we surrender to Krishna. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains the 6 symptoms of surrender is that we see Krishna as our protector, we see Krishna as our provider, maintainer. So we give our full self to Krishna, like that, in all humility. So these are different aspects of this surrender. So Krishna reciprocating with Muchukunda, he is going to tell about his supreme position. And in that way, he reciprocates. And in that way, Krishna is also, as he received worship from Muchukunda, Krishna also says that I will worship them. It's quite wonderful. And mind me, this is one of the great fortunes that we have. Because what other religious in the world, or scripture in the world, or disciplic succession in the world give us entrance to the heart and the mind of the personality of Godhead? And Krishna allows that through his devotees in order to completely charm our hearts. See how thoughtful, how kind, how wonderful Krishna is. So it's quite wonderful. Srila Jivagoswami comments, my birth and activities, this is also Srila Jivagoswami giving us that entrance again into Krishna's thinking. My birth and activities cannot be counted even an amount similar to the actual number. To even an amount similar to the actual number. Anu can mean similarly according to Vishwa. He means for certain. So all these qualities of the Lord, they are unlimited. We hear that Lord Ananta Shesha, with his thousands and thousands of hoods and mouths, can ever reach the qualities of the Lord, to narrate the qualities of the Lord. Shila Sanatana Goswami comments, the Lord addressed him with respect, Anga. My birth and activities cannot be counted even an amount similar to their actual number. Anu means similar according to Vishwa. He means for certain. If you cannot count them, then you cannot be said to have all powers. The number is unlimited. The knowledge of omniscient persons is not contradicted by not knowing a flower in the sky. And it's quite esoteric, this. comment. But the gist of this whole thing is that Krishna's unlimited qualities cannot be counted. And there's something very beautiful because Krishna is addressing Muchukunda, King Muchukunda, as my dear friend. And the word that he uses is anga, and we know that anga is also described as the extensions, or sometimes as your limbs. In the verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam that describes Lord Chaitanya's appearance, avatar, Lord Chaitanya's avatar, it says Sango Pangastra Parsadam. So the word anga is also referred to those the devotees who accompany the Lord. The Lord doesn't come with astras or weapons, but his weapons are his angas, his extensions, which are referred as his devotees. So King Muchukunda is also referred here as an anga of the Lord Krishna. And we see that King Muchukunda understand that he was an instrument of Krishna. In this case, he was actually an astra. He was an astra, or a weapon of the Lord. And by King Muchukunda, he was able to kill this Kalayavana demon. And 37, the Lord continues, after many lifetimes, someone might count the dust particles on the earth, but no one can ever finish counting my qualities, activities, names, and births. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments, someone has at some time counted all the particles of the dust on the earth. So he's saying, well, someone at one point did that, which is Jai Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Srila Jivagoswami comments, one may count the particles of dust, but not my birth, which have names according to my qualities and activities. Sridhar Swami says that Jammani in this verse also indicates activities, since this is referred to in the next verse. Srila Sanatana Goswami, Srila Jivagoswami just paraphrased Srila Sanatana Goswami's comments, so it's the same. So we see this wonderful exchange, and we're going to continue in the next verses, in the following verses, hearing Krishna now addressing and reciprocating in this mood of joy and very pleased with Muchukunda, consider Muchukunda and reciprocating with Muchukunda as a dear friend. And then he will continue. I thought since it's the appearance of Srimati Radharani, there's a wonderful sannyasi who lives in New Vrindavan. His name is His Holiness Varshana Swami. And Varshana Swami, just as his name is Varshana, his stories of both Radha and Krishna and the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya are very, very wonderful, the way he narrates. So here's a translation for one lecture. It's very short, that he refers to Srimati Radharani. Today, later today we're going to hear the glories of Srimati Radharani, but I thought just to take a little moment to glorify our beautiful Srimati Kishori Devi. Srila Varsana Swami explains, quote, on a half-moon night in the month of Bhadra, King Vishravanu came to the Jamuna to bathe and found himself engulfed in a golden aura, the golden aura of pure love. It was emanating from a lotus, which has a baby girl standing on its roll. When the king returned to the palace with the baby, Queen Kirtida was delighted. She was also shocked that the girl was blind. Quote, Lord Krishna's mother, Yasoda, heard that her best friend, Kirtida, had a baby, so she came to visit along with her husband and her son. Krishna crawled up to the cradle and pulled himself up and looked in. At that moment, Srimati Radharani's eyes fluttered and opened wide and blossomed like lotus. It seems that she did not want to see anything of this world, only the form of Sri Krishna. Everyone was delighted. Quote, Srimati Radharani is the mother of the universe, the spiritual mothers of all souls. And the concept of mother is the most sacred symbol, that of purity, selflessness, caring, sharing, nurturing, and love. That is why our sacred mantra is the holy names. It is the holy names in the vocative. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare means Radhe. It is plaintive, desperate crying for the mother. Radhe, please wake us up from this nightmare of mortal life. Remind us of our Father we have forgotten and take us home. In the Krishna conscious movement, devotees carefully worship Srimati Radharani as the bestower of devotional service to Krishna. By attentively chanting her name in the Mahamantra, by worshipping her deity form, and by following the instructions of the most merciful Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the combined form of Radha and Krishna. Therefore, Radha is Parama Devata, the supreme goddess, and she is worshipable for everyone. She is the protector of all, and she is the mother of the entire universe. This is a quote from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi 489. No one is more dear to Krishna than Radharani. Radharani is not inferior to Krishna in any way. It is Krishna himself who enjoys himself in two separate forms, as the enjoyer and the enjoyed. Krishna's beauty is so stunning that he himself becomes enchanted by his own beauty. But if the beauty of Radharani were not greater than that of Krishna, she could not enchant she could not enchant him who can enchant the whole universe. That is why she is called Bhuvan Mohan Mohine. She is the effulgence of Krishna, who is like the full moon. We were talking about Krishna's effulgence in the Bhagavatam class. So she is the effulgence of Krishna, who is like the full moon, Krishna Chandra. Krishna is the sum total of all ecstasy, all beauty. He is the original reservoir of all wealth, progress, and knowledge. So, the greatness of Radharani is beyond the limit of human knowledge, even beyond the limit of understanding of many liberated souls. And then, this is very interesting because this is like Srimati Radharani's biodata. Sometimes we see parents who want to marry their children, they put a biodata and they send that, to other people too. So Srimati Radharani has her transcendental biodata also. So her eternal age, 14 years, 2 months, 15 days. So that's how eternally she appears like that. That's what we usually see. So here's a note to explain that. This age refers to the eternal age of Radharani. That means Radharani always remained as the age of 14 years, 2 months, 15 days. And Krishna always remained as 15 years, 9 months, and 7 days. Though the years pass, the age remained with that particular age. So they always look like that. In Dwapara Yuga, the maximum life of people was 1,000 years. So the father of Srimati Radharani is Maharaj Vrishabhanu. The mother is Kirtida Devi. The grandmother, paternal grandmother, is Mahi Bhanu. The paternal grandfather was Mahi Bhanu. The paternal grandmother was Sukada Devi. The maternal grandfather was Indu, and the maternal grandmother was Mukhara Devi, who is also young Yashoda and Radha's nursemaid. Uncles, the paternal uncles is Ratna Bhanu, Subhanu, and Bhanu. The maternal uncles are Bhadrakirti, Mahakirti, and Kirti Chandra. Maternal aunts are Menaka Devi, Shasti Devi, Gauri Devi, Datri Devi, and Dataki Devi. Mother's sister is Kirtamati Devi, whose husband is Kasha. Father's sister, we hear these names among devotees, so now we know they're related to Srimati Radharani. Father's sister is Bhanu Mudra Devi, whose husband is Kusha. Brother, elder, is Sridama. Sister, younger, is Ananga Manjari. Husband, so-called Abhimanyu. Father-in-law, Brikagopa. Mother-in-law, these are the so-called Jatila. Sister-in-law, Kutila. Brother-in-law, Durmada. And then Srimati Radharani's dearest friends, the Ashtasakis, we know them, Lalita, Visakha, Suchitra, Champakalata, Ranga Devi, Sudevi, Tungavidya, and Indulekha. And Srimati Radharani's favorite pets. Surabhi cow, among the cows, is Sunada, Jamuna, and Bahula. A calf, Twege. Female monkey, Kakati. Parrots, Sukmade and Subha. Swan, Toikere. Doe, Rangini, Chakori bird, Charuchandrika, and elephant, Madhuri. Srimati Radharani wears dress made of her useful bluish modesty, woven with shama-colored threads, and also Uttariya, which is red due to the stream attachment for the company of Krishna. So blue and red. She outwardly very clever and contradictory while at heart is submissive. She has the complexion like yellow champaka flower and lightning, and her lips are reddish due to her deep attraction for Krishna. Srimati Radharani ki jai, Karantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Tai Gaura Premanandi. I'm going to finish here because it's very late. Thank you. Hare Krishna.